my God, will Pulse fill up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day. Man, oh man, what drama overnight, and then of course good news in the morning. That's how we like to rock and roll here on Pulsechain. Well, PowerCity Flex is launched with Hex lending. Woohoo! A major use case for X. Very, very nice to see with that. Of course, we've had some cool teams like Maximus and Alex McFerder do some wonderful things around the Hex ecosystem. And now, of course, we've got the PowerCity Flex team as well. So it's looking very, very bullish there. I know we've got more stuff coming up from Magic Art Ride team. So yeah, Hex ecosystem is starting to really, really ramp up. So very exciting times. Let's use in the chat here. We got Sandy Beach. Hey, Sandy, how you doing? What's that new challenge starts today? Nice. And there it is there, post there. So go give Sandy a follow and get into that for the was it the burpees and the jumping jacks, I think it was. What else? We've got Life Beneath in the House there. How are you today? Very, very good. Hex PLS, PLX, and Extender for the win, 100%. That is the gold crypto strategy of the channel. We got Craig Pitt in the house. Say morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Who else is in there? Big shout out from Sandy to everybody. And Wookie as well. What drama? What drama? Well, you know, talking about Bitcoin drama, you know, big pullback down to 57K or so. So yeah, but Pulsechain, everything was down, and then we had good news in the morning with the PowerCity Flex, which is a major protocol on top of Hex now. So very, very exciting to see that. All right, let's get into it. And oh no, let's not forget new token Flex and new stablecoin HexDC. Is it like Run DMC pretty much but it's for Hex. So it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, let's get into it without further ado. Now we're going to be covering the Fed announcement today as well, and then we're going to get into a lot of stuff around PowerCity Flex protocol. We're obviously going to cover Pulsechain markets and crypto markets. We're going to also get into Pulse Predict from Jacob's ecosystem. They've got some exciting news coming up in the next 48 hours for that too. So it's going to be fun times ahead. All right, let's get into it without further ado. And there we go, the stock market there. So the S&P closes lower in the wild ride as the Fed keeps rates unchanged. So let's see what the Dow looks like there. The Dow was up to just over 0.2%, 87 points, 37,903. S&P 500 down 1/3%, 17 points to 5,018, and Nasdaq down a third of a percent, down 52 points to 15,605 on the and this is the other stock market. US dollar up 0.1% to 105.64 on the index versus its trading partners. Commodities, we don't have that showing up again today. Don't know why. Let's get into the news though. Fed leaves rates unchanged, downplays hikes. Fed Reserve left interest rates unchanged within a 5.25 to 5.5% range and signaled that rates could likely remain higher for longer than previously expected, but kept the rate hikes off the table. So that's kind of good news there. We want that pivot, that the terminal rate, what they call terminal rate. It is unlikely that next policy rate would be a hike, said Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, although acknowledged that progress on inflation had stalled in recent months. The Fed's approach to dealing with excess inflation pressure had been to rely on the higher for longer strategy of interest rates. Nothing from today's communication suggests that this is going to change anytime soon. And what else we got there? Decision arrived on the heels of data showing the labor market is coming into the balance as job openings fell to a 3-month low in March. And on the private labor market front, however, job gains in April topped economist expectations. So there we go. A non-farm payrolls report is due Friday. That's going to be interesting, which is expected to show the US economy added a healthy 243,000 jobs in April, which would be a very healthy number there. So that is it on that. And of course, we've got a little video. It's going to run for a few minutes. This is Jerome Powell speaking today. So let's watch this one. Bam. Should we go over there? Should we pop over there and go bam like that?
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. The economy has made considerable progress toward our dual mandate objectives. Inflation has eased substantially over the past year, while the labor market has remained strong. And that's very good news. But inflation is still too high. Further progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain. We are fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal. Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustainably strong labor market that benefits all. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings, though at a slower pace. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy has been putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation, and the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have moved toward better balance over the past year. However, in recent months, inflation has shown a lack of further progress toward our 2% objective, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. Although GDP growth moderated from 3.4% in the fourth quarter of last year to 1.6% in the first quarter, private domestic final purchases, which excludes inventory investment, government spending, and net exports, and usually sends a clearer signal on underlying demand, was 3.1% in the first quarter, as strong as the second half of 2023. Consumer spending has been robust over the past several quarters, even as high interest rates have weighed on housing and equipment investment. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. The labor market remains relatively tight, but supply and demand conditions have come into better balance. Payroll job gains averaged 276,000 jobs per month in the first quarter, while the unemployment rate remains low at 3.8%. Strong job creation over the past year has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in participation among individuals aged 25 to 54 years and a continued strong pace of immigration. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year and the jobs to workers gap has narrowed, but labor demand still exceeds the supply of available workers. Inflation has eased notably over the past year, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Total PCE prices rose 2.7% over the 12 months ending in March. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. The inflation data received so far this year have been higher than expected. Although some measures of short-term inflation expectations have increased in recent months, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. The committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5%, and to continue the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings, though at a slower pace. Over the past year, as labor market tightness has eased and inflation has declined, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have moved toward better balance. The economic outlook is uncertain, however, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks. We've stated that we do not expect that it will be appropriate to reduce the target range for the federal funds rate until we have gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. So far this year, the data have not given us that greater confidence. In particular, and as I noted earlier, readings on inflation have come in above expectations. It is likely that gaining such greater confidence will take longer than previously expected. We are prepared to maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate for as long as appropriate. We're also prepared to respond to an unexpected weakening in the labor market. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress we've seen on inflation. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering any adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties that we face in pursuing both sides of our dual mandate. We will continue to make decisions meeting by meeting. Turning to our balance sheet, the committee decided at today's meeting to slow the pace of decline in our securities holdings, consistent with the plans we released previously. Specifically, the cap on Treasury redemptions will be lowered from the current $60 billion per month to $25 billion per month as of June 1. Consistent with the committee's intention to hold primarily Treasury securities in the longer run, we're leaving the cap on agency securities unchanged per month, and we will reinvest any proceeds in excess of this cap in Treasury securities. With principal payments on agency securities currently running at about $15 billion per month, total portfolio runoff will amount to roughly $40 billion per month. The decision to slow the pace of runoff does not mean that our balance sheet will ultimately shrink by less than it would otherwise, but rather allows us to approach its ultimate level more gradually. In particular, slowing the pace of runoff will help ensure a smooth transition, reducing the possibility that money markets experience stress and thereby facilitating the ongoing decline in our securities holdings that are consistent with reaching the appropriate level of ample reserves. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals.
So there we are. That was a bit of an excerpt there from the Jerome Powell there from the meeting earlier today around interest rates. Pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's get back into it. I'm going to get into crypto now. Actually, we're going to look at the future ones here. So the next meeting is 5 weeks away in 6 days, 17 hours. So it's quite a bit of time between meetings here. Next meeting is the 12th of June. So we've got about 6 weeks there. And 90% of the market expecting a no change for that meeting at this stage. So we're still not getting, July is at 72%. September there is at 46% post this meeting from the Fed meeting there. And so 56%. So really we're getting pushed right out here to the end of the year. November there is the first time we get I guess we get a strong majority on September, but September, November is kind of your play there. So getting really pushed out for the rate cut there. I mean, we started in May, it was the expectation. Now it's getting pushed all the way to September and November. So unless data significantly changes in that time, that's where we are looking for the interest rate pivot, which may feed into a bullish end of the year run for crypto. So, all right, that's it at the moment. We've got a couple of comments in the house before we get into the crypto market. Tin Top had a few comments there, I see, but let's welcome a few others as well. Tin Top says, "What's up?" Hey, Tin Top, welcome. Wookie says that's just normal crypto for Wookie. For Bitcoin pullback he's talking about there, down to 57K, I should say. I need to look at the new PowerCity project, says Sandy. We're going to be looking at it a bit later, so you'll be covering PowerCity Flex coming up. Morning, Suit Man and family. Good to see Brennan in the house there. Hey, it looks like you hit your mark pretty well on the old PDC pullback there, Brennan. Word salad of lies, says Tin Top, regarding the Fed chair's labour market reports are falsified. Yeah, there's quite a bit of that sort of carry on going on. Tin Top also says job reports are only taken from most payroll companies. If a business does their own payroll, it's not reported. I like how he talked about immigration. Of course, the vast majority of immigration in the US is illegal immigration. And so I wonder how that market is going. I think America has about 1 million illegal immigrants a year. That's the play. But they have probably about 4 to 5 million, is it, illegal ones at the moment. Tim Dot also says, unexpected translation, get ready. Here it comes. Yeah. Andrew Reynolds says, happy Flex Day. Says Andrew, yeah, I think great news, isn't it? The great project they're launching. Tim Top also says, well anchored translation up and to the right, like a hockey stick. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. We're going to get into the crypto part of the show, and let's see where we're going here. We've got Bitcoin 58,442, so it's actually rebounded a little bit, hasn't it? We're at 3.87% down. Bitcoin dominance is a bit lower than yesterday. It's at 51.44%. I think it was just down from 52 something there yesterday. Ethereum there is down 1.6%, still under 3,000, and that's at $297, down 1.6%. We do have some movers though. So Solana up 5.5%. We got DOT up 7% there. They're making some big moves. OP is up as well, 9%, $2.77. So there are a few movers and shakers. Everything else is pretty green, actually, amongst a lot of the leaders: Matic, Tron, ADA, XRP, Litecoin. So they're all doing pretty well. The meme coins were off a little bit earlier, but they sort of look pretty flat now at the moment. Maybe up 1%, down 3% for Dodge. So not too bad in that space. So it's sort of cooling off after that big move down. Let's have a look at the chart on Bitcoin. Where do we get down to? We've just started a brand new day, and that's 18 minutes. So I've got a brand new candle here, green candle. Yesterday's candle just closed 18 minutes ago. The low was 56,500. The high was 60,787, 85, sorry. And that is quite a big range, isn't it? That's 3.5, 4, we're almost 4,500 range there. Another two of them, 2 days in a row, have had big ranges. I think the previous day was 6,000, wasn't it? So here we are. We bounced off that 56,500, which I think is pretty close to where you had it, Brennan, on your mark there, and it's bounced back to 58K. So that's kind of cool. That's cool at the moment. We'll see where it lands, but so far so good. We do have kind of a little bit of horizontal support at 53K, and we've got the 200-day moving average at 52K. So 52, 53 does look like a pretty good support line if this does decide to make another leg down. But at this stage, we have had a bounce at 56,600 also. So that is it on the BTC. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment, obviously down as well, and down from that 50-day moving average as well. We do have support on the 50-day moving average at 2,766, and the current price is at 2,965. Yesterday, the day that just closed, we had a low of 2,800 on Bitcoin, 2,814. So that's not too bad there on Ethereum. Now, we're going to get into the Pulsechain results for day 355. And, of course, remember, we're tracking it up to 1 year for Pulsechain. How far we got to go? You got it 10 days and 23 hours. So just 11 days, basically, let's say. 11 days to go until the 1 year anniversary for Pulsechain. Yeah, boy. 50 weeks of shaking out weekends. Well, we're still doing it. We're still shaking out 50 weekends. there for the magic upride to come. So day 355, we've got quadruple 0627 down 4.3% for Pulse. So 63% of the main sacrifice price. Pulsex at quadruple 0257. Man, that's low, isn't it? Man, you can pick up lots of volume at the moment. That's all I'm saying. Accumulation down 3% and a DCA for the win. We've also got the buy and burn ticking away there, 835.3 billion. Pulsex, that's 4.11% of the public supply. Incentive token down 2.8% there at $3.10. And just below that 50,000, a really important mark, 50,000 there at 49,391 is the ratio. And we've got 30,562,000 incentive tokens in existence there. Now, the standout, of course, today is Hex. Yeah, give it up for Hex. Can't keep Hex down. That's all we can say. Well, obviously, the good news around PowerCity Flex, the Hex lending protocol now, basically doing pretty well for this. So we're up 11.8%. I saw it up earlier about 22, 23%. We're at 11.8% at the moment at just under 89 hundredths of a penny. And EHEX there at 19 hundredths of a penny. Combined price EHEX PX at 1.07 cents. So we're back over the 1 cent mark, looking pretty good. So that is at the moment. We'll see where that goes in the coming days on the back of PowerCity Flex. And we're going to check out the protocol in a minute or two. Looking at the charts, let's have a look at Pulsechain. Obviously, Pulsechain broke down through that nice support line there. So we're going to have a longer road to the upside. So here we are, quadruple 06269. And the RSI really not fully oversold on the weekly there. Looking at the daily, that's, we're getting oversold on the daily at 26 there. So let's see where we find a bit of support here. We've kind of bounced off this level of 6,100 2 days in a row. So let's see if we can hold on to that. Pulsex at the moment is bounced off that support line for Pulsex on the weekly. We're down at 41. Moving to the daily. Yeah, we're not fully oversold, but we're down 31 there at the moment as well. So maybe we'll start to ease off on that. Really will depend, I guess, if Bitcoin decides to make another leg down to that 52, 53K mark. Incentive at the moment, like we say, let's look at the ratio. It's holding up pretty well. I mean, look at this chart. It's looking still pretty good, isn't it? Look at that. That's looking pretty good there at the moment. Like I say, good support at 45K. If it stays over, over that 50K, that's really, really solid support. So doing pretty well as the on-send token at the moment. I think I saw a big whale buy on Pulse Alerts as well. I think we saw that. Once again, the star of the day, PHEX on the weekly. Nice little T-cross there. That's kind of a bit bullish, isn't it? Is it a butterfly? And yeah, anything under this orange, really nice accumulation zone. And we're currently at 42 on the weekly on the RSI. And we're at 47 on the daily. A nice little pump back there. And we bounced 2 days in a row, bounced off 7,400th of a penny. And we're now 89th. And hey, look, this is big news in my view. The PowerCity Flex, so looking good. People take more Hex off the market, right? And lend against it. That's the idea. So, a lot of it will probably stay on the actual protocol. But then a lot of the stablecoin hopefully start moving around as well. Another stablecoin on Pulsechain, so that's pretty cool. So we've got CST, we've got the PXDC, we've got USDL, and now we've got HexDC. So 4 stablecoins, and of course, you guys know my favorite one, which is not even here yet, PUSD Algo. Let's bring it. Come on, Jacob. Let's do it. All right, we're at 89 hundredths of a penny there at the moment. EHEX as well. Let's see where that is at. 19 hundredths of a penny there. Just chilling, but looking not too bad, and plenty of upside to that BankX wall at the 7/10 of a penny. And I don't believe it's moved. Let me know if it has, but I don't think so. That is pretty much it. The combined price of EHEX and PX here on InvestX. Let's check this out. Let's go have a look at this one. I didn't actually set it up, so you guys can tell that because I'm having to click all the buttons. Beautiful site, this InvestX.io, isn't it? Fantastic. And hats off to the founder. I have had him on the show once. I should probably get him on again because he's done so many amazing things. He's got a big following now, so well done to him. Well done to him. He pulled that up really nicely. Him and his team. I think they're based out of the UK. Doing pretty good there. So yeah, super cheap at the moment. 1.07 cents on Hex. Man, plenty of upside here, sitting up to 3 cents. Once we're past that 3 cents, it's up and away, as I always say every day. And that's going to be pretty cool. Let's jump over to the gas prices just to wrap everything up for the day 355. We've got gas prices at 500,000 beats, so about 150% more than normal. 1 cent for a Pulsex swap, 7/100th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Gwei on Ethereum continues to be ultra low, 5 gram Ethereum at the moment, and Pulsechain is still 450 times cheaper, so not too bad there. So you pay up to $5.28 for a Uniswap transfer, but only 1 cent for a PulseX transfer. It's the place to be. I think we can all agree. Did I make that right? I think I did. I don't know. We're at 49,282 validators, 1.58 trillion at the moment to validate. Now, David Fed has been putting out posts about how cheap it is because Pulse has come back so far to pick up a validator. 32 million Pulse you need. You can be a validator. You can also go through his store, right? He dominates that through the validatorstore.com. He's got 61% of validators have gone through his store from the looks of it. So yeah, and 949 blocks validated from them. So pretty cool. It's David Feder. Go check him out. Does a great job for the community. You can also obviously do NFTs now, can't you? Through the DGN protocol, I think it was. And you can do NFTs through that up to, was it 68, something like that, somewhere in that ballpark. 70 NFTs make one pot, one validator. So you can actually get just parts of a validator. So there's another option there for you. All right, going to the bridge, 109 million, pretty similar to yesterday, maybe down slightly from yesterday. I think we were at 109.25. So yeah, that's a little. I think we had 1 transfer out over the 24 hours. So we're at 109 at the moment on the bridge there, and PDI sitting at 35 million. Now, obviously, we've got the 3 stablecoins here: CST, USDL, and PXDC. Now we're going to be looking to have HexDC, right, and added there too, and hopefully one day PUSD, which is my favorite, PUSD. Let's go. All right, let's move on from that. It's day 355, so we're about to start day 356. They'll be starting shortly. Let's have a quick look at a few of the other charts before we get into the major launch for the Flex protocol. So looking at ICOSA, we can see that on Pulsechain is up 1.8%. Hedron on Ethereum is up 3.5%. The other ones are down or flat. Let's go to the stable coins at the moment. Now, I have added in the HexDC. It is well above peg at the moment. So let's go check this out. This is the new stablecoin from PowerCity. Before we do that, though, let's go to the actual announcement. Let's not jump 2 heads of ourselves here. So PowerCity put this out. Flex protocol is live on Pulsechain. Now, when did this go out? Let me just have a look here. 8 hours ago. So it's been live for 8 hours. And here we are. Flex protocol is live. So that launched while I was asleep. So I didn't get up to a live stream on it. So what time would it have been? It would have been about 4:30 in the morning, Kiwi time here, down under New Zealand. Hex lending protocol is here, looking to access a liquidity without selling, earn yield, or take a loan. So how about that? So looking to access liquidity without selling, earn some yield, or take a loan. So there we go. Flex Hex utility case built by the Hex community for the Hex community. And there are the actual tokens, contract addresses. So you got Flex, ends in A2, A6. You got HexDC, the stablecoin, ends in a DB00 or 00 there. And you got PHEX, obviously, Pulsechain there, EB39. The following liquidity pools are incentivized for 369 days of emission. So a nice little play on the inflation there for Hex. So they'll have a liquidity pools incentivized for 369 days of emissions of the Flex tokens. That's the new protocol token, which are stakeable for fees in both Hex and HexDC. So when you're going to get more Hex, you can get more HexDC. That's going to be pretty popular. So there is the Hex Flex LP pool. There is the Hex DC stablecoin and the Hex LP pool there. And both guys' contracts are there. And there's also the PulseX Earn LP there as well. So pretty cool. FlexPowerCity.io is the link to the website. I have posted it in Discord. You can see they've had 24,000 views almost on this. So it is pretty cool. It's posted out there, PowerCity Flex. And that is it. What I should call it, Hex Lending. Yeah, Hex Lending. That is it. So check it out. It is a lending protocol. So, do due diligence, all that sort of stuff like that. And that is the link there if you want to go check it out and leave any responses or anything like that. Yeah, kind of cool. It's got lots of cool stuff there. Liquid Loan says congrats on the successful launch. They're from Liquid Loan, so that was nice. Batias says congrats for the launch, guys. New tokens have been added to the token list, so you will be able to find them on Batias. So if you want to look for those tokens, you will be able to search for them on Batias. You'll also be able to search for them on GoPulse. So GoPulse has got them as well. GoPulse.com token HexDC and GoPulse.com token Flex there. So you'll be able to see them on that as well. So there's 2 different DEX aggregator providers. So kind of cool. Big news there. And let's jump over to the actual website. Let's go to the website and have a look at that, and then we'll get back into the actual tokens. Let me just jump back up here. I'm just moving around a bit. So let's have a look at the protocol. Flex.powercity.io. I might make this a little bit bigger. I might connect it to one of my dummy wallets. How about that? Let's do that. Hopefully that comes up. Let's go to that one. And let's try and connect onto that. Maybe it had done it already, but wait till the stats come up. It's not connecting for some reason. I'm having a bit of a problem with Web3 on there. Let's see if the stats come up anyway. All right, there's the stats. So we got Hex there, showing the price there. Flex at $4.77 and $1.09 for HexDC. So over peg at the moment is the old Hex stablecoin. So big demand. What else do we got there? Borrowing fee 0.5%. TVL 291. So fork of liquidity for Hex. Volts there 101 volts already. So we've made 100. 101 Dalmatians or volts there at the moment. So it's kind of cool. HexDC supply 1.28 million. Another stable coin with $1.28 million US worth of stable coin. Isn't that pretty cool? I think that's the actual number. Yeah. Is it a number or a dollar? I'm not sure. But 1.128 there, X supply. So that is supposed to be above peg. So it's actually higher because the price is at 1.09 cents. HexDC in the stability pool 1.18. So most of it, like I said, most of it's going to be in the protocol, 91.9%, which leaves the almost 8% to float around in people's wallets, or to go and buy stuff, I guess. In the pools. Stake flex, 122,000 stake flex at the moment. Pretty cool. Total amount of flex that is staked in earning fee revenue, and the total collateral ratio there 203%, which is on the kind of the low side. You got to remember that when they do have, I'm not sure if they've got redemptions coming up, but when they do have redemptions, you will have to make sure that you don't get liquidated. That's been something that's caught people off by surprise with liquid lines and PowerCity earn protocol is the redemptions there. Not liquidations, but redemptions. So just remember that. Yeah, I'm having a problem with the Web3 there. It's not connecting up there, but you won't have that problem. I've been having that problem for some time on this particular play accounts. Eli says dummy wallets for the one. Yeah. What else there? Let's have a look here. We've got a couple of comments here, I think, from Brennan says, I was calling 56,600, just a slight wick below for BTC. Well done there on that one. Another call there from Brennan. Yeah, so pretty cool. Flex protocol is live in Pulsechain. Flex is a decentralized borrowing protocol that allows you to draw interest-free loans against Hex used as collateral. Loans are paid out in HexDC, USD pegged stablecoin, and need to maintain a minimum collateral ratio of 110%. In addition to the collateral, the loans are secured by stability pool containing HexDC and by other borrowers collectively acting as guarantors of last resort. You can learn more about obviously in the documentation. Flex as a protocol is non-custodial, mutable, and governance-free. If you still have questions about after browsing this documentation, join the Telegram for the Flex protocol. Flex protocol is part of the PowerCity ecosystem. Yeah, so fees will be going to the core, right? If you're in staking in the core, you'll be earning fees from this as well. So that's pretty cool. You got the PowerCity core down there. You got the earn protocol. You got the portal where it spreads. So 3 operating protocols, and of course now they got the Flex protocol too. We've got the redemption page and the risky vaults. So we'll go to the dashboard. Hopefully that comes up. I'm not sure if that's what we're on already. Maybe you have to be connected for that. So you might have to connect. Sorry, I had a problem with that. So let me see if I can connect through the Ravi wallet and see if that works. And man, let's see if we can connect. No, I'm not sure if that's going to work either. Only gives the MetaMask wallet. So you try it out, check it out, see what you think of it anyway. And that link was in the post there on PowerCity. All right, kind of cool. So let's go to the charts at the moment. So here we are on the chart. So you can see, we actually just got sold down a little bit there. We're up pretty high. So this is the HexDC stablecoin. I got day there. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. So that's the 15-minute chart. Let's do the log on that one. And you can see we're at $1.03, but we have been above peg most of the time. So that's been pretty cool. If I draw a line here for the peg, let's see, the line here for the peg, that's about there. Yeah, about there. That's a line for the peg. So it's above peg. That would be $1, right? $1. Obviously, you can make or lose on either side depending on how that goes. Obviously, we just saw some big sell candle just happen while we were looking at it there on the peg there for HexDC. Now, there's 186k liquidity on there at the moment. I was on Pulsechain. What's the poll? Yeah, Pulsechain V2. And what else have we got there? 336 makers so far. Not too bad. And what else have we got on that one? Yeah, we got pulled HexDC, 90,000. Pulled Hex, 10.5 million. It's pretty good. We'll give that a rocket as well. No issues, of course. That is pretty cool. So that is the Hex stablecoin. So we've got a fourth stablecoin on Pulsechain, looking pretty good, and another over $1 million worth. So that's nice. Let's see where it gets to. We're going to get a couple of million. We'll be watching that in the days and weeks ahead of us. The other one, of course, is the project. So let's go to the project token, and we're going to look at Flex. So Flex is the token for the protocol, and it's had a nice little rally. This is on 15-minute candles. And you can see it's had a nice little rally up there. Got all the way up to $5.16, currently $3.75. Just got a big seller on there. There's always some big guys can come down and sell that, isn't it, on the for the win? But still holding up relatively to where it started. Not too bad. And how many? 664 makers so far. 177k liquidity. Pretty similar to the stablecoin amount of liquidity there. Market cap 375 million. And what else there? We got the Flex in there, 23,000 Flex in there at the moment. No issues on the Intel, of course. And we'll give that a rocket. So pretty cool. Early days. Flex token there. And of course, you can provide LP and get rewards, right? So that's a big deal if you want to do LP for that. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe you could even wait till it eases off a little bit there, maybe. Earlier you get in, of course, maybe you earn relatively more rewards, but everyone flocks in, pushes the asset prices up there. So there's a bit of give and take on that. Very exciting, big deal for Hex. Obviously, Hex now has got, got Maximus products. Maximus, I think, is 2 years now for the Maxi Hex staking pool from Maximus team. So congratulations to them, 2 years today. And that's going to be one of the two big whales out in the future with the Hex Gold Whale, right up the max, out 12, 13 years. Was it 13 years from now? So that's going to be a big whale along with the Hex Gold Whale. What else are we going to say? Alex McFerder, Hedron Acosa, been really cool. And of course, we've got coming up, we've got, we've had Party as well from Maximus. And of course, we've got the Steakhouse coming from Magic Upright. So, what's that? At least five big decent protocols launched around Hex. And this is a big one, of course, having lending. So really exciting. Another use case for Hex and getting it off the market. Kind of neat. All right. That is very cool. That is where we're out there. Let's go to the rest of the stable. Everything else doing pretty well. PDI down at 4,200 for the penny. So still the journey to 1 cent can take a little bit long because it broke that support line. What else are we going to say about that? So let's jump over to Wrap Bitcoin. $192 on Wrap Bitcoin. So that's tinkering away as well. And let's go look at the influencer coins at the moment. SolidX, everything is down on the influencer coins, everything. So it's not surprising given the sentiment with the Bitcoin down, but the SolidX down $60. Note token at 4,500 for a penny, down 13%. So everything is pretty much down there at the moment. Maybe opportunities for some people, depending on the project itself. Let's go to the Pulsechain overview, and then we get into the other big news that we've got coming out over the next 48 hours. So let's do that, but let's have a look at who else is doing pretty well. We've got this one called Snap here on 9inch exchange. So they're obviously launching lots of tokens over there. 81,000% gain on that. 4,000 liquidity, very small retail play. But that is rocketing at the moment. Let's have a quick look at that chart. Now, not financial advice, of course. This is very speculative, but that is had a big blast out the front door there, and not much happening since then. But that is the price at the moment at 50,1600. It's got nothing else on it. What's the quick intel? Quick intel, no issues, it says. Yeah, it's got a lot of red flags and poo coins though. So there we go. The other one, so that Flex though is the utility for Hex that just launched, $3.56. So that's up 39% at the moment. So that's doing very well. It's also got a pool on 9inch as well. Quite a bit of liquidity across those pools if you add them all up for the Hex. Now the other one that's done well is Hex. Yay! It's good to see Hex on the leaderboard and not some fly-by-night meme coin. So your Hex is up, 15% at the moment, looking pretty good, 9/10 of a penny. So Hex is back on the leaderboard there today. Nice to see, very nice to see. And those make up all the tokens that are over 10% at the moment, right? So those are all the tokens. We've only got 3 today: Snap, Flex, and Hex, the ones that have 10% gain or more on Pulsechain there. Now we're at $35 million of volume. I think we were at 40 million yesterday. So $5 million less. We've got about 262,000 transactions. I think we had 350 or so yesterday. So we're down on that too. But, good news around Flex. Got to be good there. Let's go to the other big news that's coming out over the next 48 hours. Your friend and mine, our favorite DG and innovator is Jacob. And Pulse Predict has got something big coming to Pulsechain in the next less than 48 hours. Now, if you're not familiar with Pulse Predict, it is a sports betting site. And of course, it's associated with PulseBot, the big crypto casino on Pulsechain. So something big is coming to Pulsechain in less than 48 hours. A bet on any Pulsechain token and let the games begin. So really looking forward to this. Price predictions is coming, and there's a video here. So check this out. Hope you guys can see that. I'm going to pause that. But basically, you've got Hex here as an example, so you can predict against a particular token, and then you've got a dynamic chart in real time from the looks of it. So it's going to be so good. And you'll be able to bet on that. So you're going to be able to bet on whether you think, I guess, it's a binary decision whether it's going to go up or down. I guess you can set the terms of the game, but very exciting there. It's also got a time to finish completion there, obviously a number of the game and all sorts of stuff like that. But look at this, really cool. This will be popular. People love this stuff. So let's check it out. Yeah, you can see, so there's a bet on around Hex price. Hex price at this price, which is at 8500th of a penny or above on the 27th of April. And then you can watch the price just go. And of course, it's got the target there, where the Hex will be that price or above. And if you are right, you will win. You will win, right? You will win the other side of the bet. So in this case, it's 50 cents here on either side, for example. But very cool. So that is coming. Something big is coming to Pulsechain in less than 48 hours. Now, I know these are popular, these binary games. So if you like that sort of thing, that is coming pretty soon. And that is from Pulse Predict. So I'm going to leave that in the chat as well if you want to check it out. Pulse Predict. Bam. And actually, if you are betting on games and stuff like that, you'd actually get a credit for a lot of the games in terms of Pulse Predict token, which is coming out in June. So you get, the more you bet, the more Pulse Predict tokens you get, and that's going to launch in June. So you're going to get a credit back in a sense, don't you, for your bets that you make. So it's pretty cool from that point of view. Looking forward to that in June. It's going to be neat. Now, obviously, in May, we talked about this yesterday, I think. TYZZ is coming out in May, 15th, 16th of May. And then that's less than 2 weeks away, isn't it? Or 2 weeks, yeah, a bit less than, just under 2 weeks maybe. And then we've got, obviously, this Pulse Predict token, which you can earn now already just by playing. It's kind of like a pre-mine. Then, yeah, that's pretty cool for that too. So that is Pulse Predict. Let's have a quick look. See, we got the site here. This is the website for Pulse Predict. And I did post out a post on X yesterday about all the upcoming games. So the upcoming games, we've got the big boxing between Fury and Us coming up. It's on May the 18th. That's going to be coming live soon. We've got a UEFA Champion League, which is currently in progress. We've got the Formula One coming up. That's on the 26th of May. That's going to be open up for betting. And then we got the Indy 500 to open up. So I know a lot of people love sports and they love to bet on sports. So if this is something you like, definitely get into it. If you know friends that like to play, do sports betting, they can do that on Pulsechain now, which is pretty neat, right? So get in there on that one. It's going to be pretty cool. An example, of course, of the current game that's been played is a playoff for the UAF Champion Leagues. So it's pretty cool, and you can see a number of bets there. Token sold. Every token's ticket sold. Sorry, you get 500 Pulse Predict tokens. So that's pretty cool too. And yeah, the new game within 48 hours looks like we're going to have that predictions video up, which would be pretty cool. The one we just looked at. So very excited about that with this game coming up. Then that's going to be popular. What else are we going to get? The free airdrop at the moment. So you may have every ticket that you can earn through multiple ways. 500 Predict tokens per ticket purchase from sports events, which is like those sports games we had. You get also can earn 2% auto compounding if you've got PLSP. Now PLSP is the pulse pot token, and of course that's done very, very well. So if you're staking that, you earn 500 pulse predict per one PLSP, so you can earn quite a bit, right? If you've got PLSP, and a PLSP I think is reasonably friendly at the moment, so you can stake that 9 days, and then a maximum of 1,000 PLSP. They're just the limit, the big whales. So for example, 500 PLSP for 90 days equals 1.5 million predict tokens, which is pretty badass. So looking forward to that. So yeah, 54 days and 23 hours to go until the launch of the predict token. And of course, there's multiple ways of getting it. If you sacrifice for any of Jacob's projects, you will get a credit for that. If you are betting on the sports betting, you get 500 per ticket that you do. If you're staking PLSP, you'll get that 2% compounding, auto compounding. And of course, if you've got any NFTs, I think they're the OG NFTs, you'll be able to get some credit for that too, which is coming up. So that's cool things. We've got next 48 hours. Got this new game coming up. Then we've got obviously Pulse Predict. TYZZ launching in mid-May, 2 weeks, and then after that in June, only was it 55 days away. We've got the Predict token launching for Pulse Predict, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Good stuff happening there. All right, that brings us to Hex. So we're getting to Hex at the moment. Where are we up to here? The end results there for day 16 and 12. We've got the date there, 1st of May. Can you believe it? The price there at 19.5, it says here on Snapshot, and the payout 7.157 hex per T-share on the old Ethereum chain. Let's go look at the T-shares. T-shares down 2,500. We're sitting at 9,221,000 T-shares on the old Ethereum chain for Hex. The rewards, we had 1.4 million almost in penalties today. Not too bad. Anything over a million's like pretty cool. We're sitting at 66 million in there. And of course, the growth numbers up 24 liquid holders, down 17 miners. We've got 180,057 miners at the moment on Pulsechain. Well, we don't have today's results because it always comes out just after the live stream. But we do have yesterday's, and day 16, 11, which would have been what, day 354, 30th of April. And the payout per T-share, 6.9 hex on the old Pulsechain. We had that big giant jump in the share rate. 230 on the old Hex share rate there, pretty big, almost 34,000, amazing. And of course, let's jump over to the T-shares, down 5,400, sitting just under 9.5 million T-shares on the old Pulsechain. And the reward pool, we hit 1 million in Hex payments and sitting at 65.7 million in Hex reward. This for yesterday, of course. We haven't got today's results out yet, but they'll probably be coming out in the next half an hour or so. Liquid holders up 33, and nice pleasant surprise, miners are up on the old Pulsechain, up 7 to 124,000. Now the cool thing is that Hex, the Flex project from PowerCity, may just help lift the Hex price a bit too. So we were looking for that over the days and weeks ahead, even months and years. So that's going to be fun to see. That big news for Hex today. Really nice, and I'm sure welcomed by everybody. Certainly opens up a lot more avenues for Hex. So that is pretty cool. That is pretty much it on that. That is the day on Pulsechain today. What else have we got going on here? Let's see. We've got Crypto Incognito in the house there. LFG. Good to see you, Crypto Incognito. And what's that? Lies Beneath says, what is flying? Is what doing pretty well too? Didn't see that on the list, but good news if it is. All right, that is pretty much it. In 48 minutes today on the live stream, not too bad. We had a couple of project launches, or we got one project launch and another one coming. So that's not too bad as well. Now, I haven't seen much from Tetra. Let me know if you've seen much from Tetra. We're expecting multiple protocols, especially around Web3 and democratizing contract interactions. So you haven't seen much on that yet. So let me know if you've seen anything, because I tried to check them up the other day, couldn't see anything. We are waiting for a lot of DeFi innovation from Tetra as well. So kind of cool. We see a lot from Jacob. Jacob delivers. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than sometimes, but they definitely delivers there. We're still waiting for a lot of Tetra stuff yet. But I'm looking forward to it, because I think some of those dApps will be very welcomed too by the community. All right, let's play out some cool stuff on the way out. I'm going to play Magic Carp Ride and, of course, the Hex song, because we had great Hex news today with the Flex project from PowerCity. Very, very cool. It's 0% interest lending. Make sure you're well collateralized, though. That's the thing. You don't want to get redeemed. You don't want to get redeemed. I'll catch you guys in Discord. Don't forget, links to Discord's in the video description. $5 a month for general membership. You get all the information and, of course, the best community in Pulsechain Hex. And, of course, we have a crypto helpline, which is pretty neat. People love that. And, yeah, if you want to go to the next level, we've got Strategy Club, $35 a month. Links for that as well. That's multi-chain. We look for all the best horses for the bull market, let's say, on all the chains. So great place to be on that one. Just had a strategy session last Saturday. We'll be having another one coming up soon as well. So join up today for that. Pretty good value, I would say. All right, let's get into it. Magic Upright. Peace out, everybody. Take care. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Thank me later, as we say. Thank me later. Now, when? Timing's always the problem. Timing. We try to get the Blues Clues for timing, but Magic Upright is coming at one stage. So, you know, accumulate, accumulate. All right, take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I'll tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.